It's time to check in with Approved Home Pros.
With a lot of misinformation and predatory practices, going solar can feel a bit like the Wild West. Thankfully, there are resources like Approved Home Pros and BVI Solar to help cut through the confusion. So today I'm here with David from BVI Solar, powered by certainty. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Jordan. It's great to be here.
BVI Solar was integral in creating a lot of consumer protection legislation, which is just phenomenal. So it's because of what you saw out there in the industry. That's why you created BVI Solar?
Correct. Actually, a number of us wrote the early legislation for consumer protection laws here in California in 2008. We took that framework and then went on to start a company where we actually sold, owned, and operated over 7,000 solar systems all the way from Hawaii through to New York City.
That's incredible. So all across the nation, you've probably seen the
Exactly.
good practices and the bad practices.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad practices out there along with the good.
What is it that you see out there in the industry that is maybe negative?
Well, two things actually is what we see. In terms of sales tactics and practices, we see a real proliferation of sales companies that all they do is sell solar, and then they take those deals, those sold deals, and then they bid them out amongst different installers.
So they don't work really in-house
So they don't
anywhere.
actually work with the installer. They actually work for themselves, and they use the best price in terms of the lowest cost of the install. And that in turn creates a real problem for homeowners, because now you have to ask yourself, who's standing behind the warranties?
Right. And then warranties is another issue that we see in the industry, because a lot of companies unfortunately go out of business.
Correct, and solar is a fairly new industry. It's about 10 to 15 years old, but we've seen a lot of manufacturers of equipment go out of business, we've seen a lot of installers go out of business, and we've seen a lot of sales companies go out of business. So you always have to ask yourself, who stands behind the warranties?
So thankfully BVI has a better way. What is it that you guys are doing to kind of change the industry?
Twofold. One, our sales reps are actually W-2 employees. They work for us. They're part of an integral team so that we can actually spend our time educating homeowners, driving best practices along those lines. We encourage multiple bids from our homeowners or for our homeowners.
Great.
At the same time, we partnered with Certainty Solar because, quite frankly, they've got the best warranty in the industry, and they've got the strongest balance sheet in the industry to stand behind that warranty.
Thank you so much. And when you mention Approved Home Pros, you will save 10% up to $500. So don't get fooled or discouraged by misinformation. Go solar with BVI and get started with your free consultation today.